Services Librarian here at Ames Public Library.
Hi, I'm Robyn. I'm an Adult Services Assistant here at the library.
And we're here to talk to you about our second annual 12 to Try Reading Challenge. So our recommendations are going to be for the month of August, and the challenge is a book that celebrates Black joy. So here are some recommendations, and you can also come and check out our display at the library or our list of books online. So what is your first suggestion, Robyn?
Okay, so I'm super excited about my first one because it is Edward Kelsey Moore's The Supremes at Earl's All You Can Eat. So even just on the back flap, the author writes that the story is rooted in childhood memories of eavesdropping on the women in the family as they talked. And I don't know about you, Cathy, but I was totally that kid.
I was not that kid. I was way too afraid of getting in trouble.
The story follows these three women, Odette, Clarice, and Barbara Jean, who are old friends but still meet every week at this small town diner. Each of them kind of has their own struggles, some more relatable than others. I don't know about you, but I don't deal with the ghost of Eleanor Roosevelt on a daily basis.
Don't think I ever have, no.
But ultimately, even with the cheesy plot device, Moore draws us into this world that feels so live and real and like we could be sitting at this diner right now. The lives of these three protagonists is very far from simple. I mean, they deal with some really kind of big issues, some small issues, some life issues, but they do it in a hilarious fashion. And there's such a feeling of family and friendship and joy that I just genuinely loved it. It was fantastic. Oh, and I should add, if you're anything like me, which, I mean, who is? But if you enjoy reading, reading a book and then seeing how someone else has kind of interpreted it, they are streaming an adaptation of it on Hulu.
Cool. I'm going to check that out. All right. So
what do you got for us?
My first suggestion is Savvy Sheldon Feels Good as Hell. So I picked up this book because I was going through a contemporary romance phase. I just wanted kind of a feel-good book. And I found that, but I also found a book about Black female friendship and community. And so at the very beginning, Savvy, who's here on the front cover, her partner dumps her because he's looking for an upgrade. He thinks that she doesn't dote on him enough and that she's let herself go. And so she begins the book on a health journey for revenge, which I admit is not my favorite trope. But as the story unfolds, she ends up finding a healthier, happier version of herself, finding work-life balance, finding joy in her relationships with her incredible group of girlfriends, and spending more time with her family, celebrating her Black and her Thai heritage. It's much more about Savvy's journey and the people in her life than it is about the romantic relationship, although that part's in there too, and it's super cute. There's also a dog right there.
Right. I love a good story with a dog.
And it celebrates delicious food all along the way, mouth-wateringly delicious food. So if you like books that talk about food, and who doesn't, stories of female empowerment and romances that aren't too romancy, check this one out. I should say also the author is Taj McCoy. All right, what's your next pick?
Awesome. So my next one, I absolutely love because the premise is absolutely wild.
Okay.
It is My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite. Really, we're following two sisters in Nigeria who are routinely involved in murder and body disposal. You know, as you are. Routinely. Yeah, that happens several. So younger sister Iola has the absolute worst taste in men and has murdered more than one, supposedly in self-defense.
Okay.
She relies on her older sister, Corday, who's a hardworking nurse and stuff like that, to clean up her mess and, the occasional body. And I don't know about you, Cathy, but once or maybe twice, okay. But to paraphrase Taylor Swift, at some point you have to admit, hi, I'm the problem, it's me. Yeah. Our lovely protagonist does not. And there definitely is a problem that arises, though, because both sisters fall head over heels for the new doctor at the hospital.
What's going to happen?
That's the question. You got to read and find out, because let me tell you, it is a dramatic murder thriller, but it's also a book that's mostly about the sisters' relationship. And, like, despite the semi-serious nature, I mean, people die. The novel's awfully, like, super darkly humorous, and it's got really sharp, quick, wit between, like, great banter between the sisters, even though it has this absurd premise.
Nice.
And things that are going on. In just over 200 pages, you're gonna, like, fly through these short chapters that are just as much fun as they are frightening.
Cool. Sounds like a great choice. Yeah. So the next one that I want to talk about is coming to you in an audiobook format. We also have it as an ebook and an e-audiobook. So it's called It's Not All Downhill From Here by Terry McMillan. So the main character in this book is named Lo, and Lo owns a beauty salon, has a loving marriage, has a sweet dog, again with the dogs, and a group of supportive and loyal girlfriends who you can see on the cover.
Okay, but we have to answer the really serious question. Does the dog die?
I don't think so.
Disclaimers.
And as you may be able to tell, too, from the cover art, Lo's group of friends, they are all above middle age. It is Lo's 68th birthday. It also happens to be New Year's Eve.
Cool.
It's midnight. Everyone's celebrating. All of a sudden, Lo looks over and her husband has passed away in the middle of the celebrations.
Ooh.
Which sounds like a very tragic note when we're supposed to be talking about joy. But despite all of that, it's a new beginning for Lo. And obviously it deals with some kind of intense themes like widowhood and mental illness, but it's ultimately about this woman reshaping her life and coming out on top. She's setting out to prove that her best days aren't behind her and that there's so much more to life after the age of 68. And it's all about this group of friends that rallies around her as well. So highly recommended.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Was it before or after the cake, though?
I don't know. All right.
You're
You're gonna have to read it and find out.
I'm in. Let's go. All right. I have one final little quick shout out. The last one by Rachel Howzell Hall is a fantasy romance novel that features Black female protagonists and themes of identity, secrets, and revelations. Now, while this book isn't explicitly about Black joy, it does explore the experiences of women and their feelings of otherness sometimes. And the authors come out with a great interview all about that was kind of her premise and stuff. It's gotten some mixed reviews, but I really enjoyed it. But don't take my word for it. Check it out and find out.
Absolutely. And if you'd like some more recommendations, swing by the library and talk to us. Thanks for participating in the 12 to Try Challenge.